It was supposed to be just a hug. A way out. A moment of escape from the chaos that had swallowed her world whole. Claire's heart pounded as she weaved through the crowd on the steps of the city hotel. Her ex-boyfriend, aggressive, unrelenting, was behind her. Again. He'd promised to leave her alone after the restraining order, but promises meant nothing to him. Not when his pride was wounded. She scanned the lobby. Security was too far. She had seconds, maybe less, then she saw him, tall. Composed. Sharp black suit. He stood like a statue of control amidst the swirling chaos of reporters and guests. Without a thought, Claire rushed forward. Her breath hitched as she threw her arms around him and whispered into his chest, "Please, just hold me. Pretend we know each other." The men didn't move, at first. Then, without a word, he gently placed one arm around her waist and the other protectively on her back. To everyone watching, it looked like a reunion. A romantic embrace between two lovers, but inside, Claire was shaking. Her ex stopped. Watched. Then scoffed and turned around, disappearing into the street. She exhaled, her hands loosening from the stranger's suit. "I'm sorry," she muttered, pulling back. "I just needed to get away." He looked at her for a long moment, then spoke, his voice calm, low. "Next time, pick someone less famous." Claire blinked. Famous. The man extended his hand. Jackson Reed. Her eyes widened. Jackson Reed, the youngest billionaire in the state, founder of a tech empire, constantly in tabloids but known for avoiding crowds. She just hugged at Jackson. Claire's cheeks turned red. "I'm so sorry, really, I didn't know. I wasn't thinking." "Clearly," he said, but not unkindly. She turned to walk away, but he stopped her. "You're safe now." But whoever he was, he looked dangerous. Claire hesitated, surprised by the concern in his voice. "I can call security if you want," he added. She shook her head. "Thank you. I just needed one good man in that moment. Just one." Something in those words stayed with Jackson. He watched as she walked away, messy hair, no makeup, clothes soaked by the rain, but dignity intact. 2 days passed. Claire thought it was over. A strange story she'd carry quietly, until a knock echoed through the flower shop where she worked. There he was. Jackson Reed. In her world now, among roses, not robots. "You forgot something," he said, holding out a folded scarf she hadn't even noticed. She dropped. She smiled awkwardly. "You didn't have to come all the way here." "I wanted to." Claire glanced at her boss, then back at him. "Is this about the other night?" He nodded. "You trusted me. That doesn't happen often." Claire gave a small laugh. "You didn't really give me a choice. But you made one. That matters." They talked for a while. About nothing. About everything. Rain. Coffee. Books. She found herself laughing, something she hadn't done in a while. He didn't ask for her number. He just said, "I'll see you again," and left, and he did. Again and again, Jackson started showing up once a week. Then twice. Buying flowers for board meetings, then for no reason at all. The city buzzed when tabloids caught a photo of them walking together near a bookstore. Headlines screamed, "Who's the girl that made Jackson Reed smile?" Claire panicked. She didn't want attention. She wanted peace. "I can't do this," she told him one day. "You have your world. I'm just trying to heal in mine." But Jackson didn't flinch. "I don't want someone from my world. I want someone real." He said it like a fact. Like she'd been the truth he'd been missing all along. Still, it wasn't easy. Her ex resurfaced after seeing the news. He cornered her one night behind the shop, eyes wild with jealousy. "You think some billionaire can save you? You'll always be nothing." But this time, Claire wasn't alone. Jackson's private security, always discreetly nearby, stepped in. Her ex was arrested for violating his restraining order. Jackson didn't say, "I told you so." He just held her hand while she cried. "I didn't hug you that night because I knew who you were," she whispered. "I hugged you because I needed someone who wouldn't hurt me." "I know," he replied. "And I've been trying to be that man ever since." Months passed. Claire's life transformed, but not in the way she expected. She didn't move into a mansion. She didn't become a tabloid trophy. Instead, Jackson invested in her dream, her own flower boutique. A place called First Bloom, named after the moment her new life began. She still watered the plants. Still arranged the roses herself, but now, she did it smiling, with peace. One evening, long after the shop closed, Jackson stood behind her at the counter. "You know," he said softly, "that night when you hugged me. I was coming out of a meeting about firing half my staff. I'd just lost my mother. I felt cold." Claire turned, but in that moment, he continued, "When you held me like you knew I could protect you, it made me feel human again." She placed her hand over his. "So maybe I didn't just save myself that night," she said. "Maybe we saved each other." And in that quiet shop, surrounded by petals and memories, the billionaire and the girl who once ran from fear finally found what they'd both been missing.